Welcome to Hurghada, one of Egypt's most beautiful Red Sea destinations, known for diving, kite surfing, desert adventures and endless sunshine. But before you book your trip, there's a few things you need to know. I'm Max and I have been living in Egypt for the last 6 years, and here is what I wish I knew the first time I came. In this video, I am going to be running through everything you need to know before you come to Hurghada, or Egypt in general. Let's get started. First things first, visa information. Before you come to Egypt, you can buy the e-visa, or at the airport, you can buy a visa. They put a stamp in your passport, a little sticker, and it is $25 US, 25 euros, 25 Great British pounds. Obviously, I recommend using the dollars because it is the cheapest option. A pro tip: as soon as you get off the aeroplane, try being the first person to the visa queue, because at Hurghada Airport, there is a massive queue, usually a couple of aeroplanes come in at the same time, so there's a massive queue. So if you're the first, you get through much faster. I'm always the guy. Usually in airports, I'm super chill because there's no reason to rush. But when you get off the aeroplane, try and be the first one to the counters. Getting to Hurghada and getting around. Hurghada has its own international airport with direct flights from most European countries. So it is super easy to get there. And one of the big reasons we used to come here on holiday is cheap flights. From Manchester Airport to Hurghada Airport, we used to get flights from £50 to £70, obviously out of season, but you cannot complain. 50 quid for a flight. So when you arrive at the airport, I would highly recommend organising with your hotel or guest house before you come, because the taxis at the airport usually way overcharge you. Yeah, so try to organise that before. Just send them a message saying, look, I'm arriving this time, please can you send someone to the airport? And usually they might charge you a little bit more, but it's going to be a better rate than just asking one of the taxi guys at the airport. And with taxis getting around, like inside Hurghada and going to Gouna and stuff, I use InDrive or Uber. But I like InDrive much more because the driver requests the price, so you don't have to argue about prices. With Uber, the driver comes and usually they request more and then you have to argue and then, yeah. But it is super safe getting around. I've never had any problems. If you have seen any of my videos, you know I am a massive fan. And make sure you always agree on the price beforehand with the taxis. Money tips. Egypt's currency is Egyptian pounds, and you can find ATMs all over the city. It is super easy, and you can exchange euro, dollars or Great British pounds in most machines. Or you can take money out with your card. I would personally recommend using CIB bank machines. That is just because that's the one I always use, and they give a decent exchange rate and a pretty small fee. And try to get a Revolut card or a card like that, because there is a 0% fee or a very small fee. I know with my Halifax account, they do take, I don't know, it might be 1 or 2%. But on my Revolut, I think it's 0 or very close. Most places do offer card payment, but try to make sure you keep some small bills on you, or just some cash, because a lot of places still do not take card. Tipping is expected in Egypt, so a 10-15% tip if you have a meal or something, or £5-10 if someone helps you out with anything, or yeah, just be nice. I mean, 10 Egyptian pounds is what, 15 pence? So you can make someone's day very easily. So just be nice. Safety and common scams. Hurghada is generally very safe. I have never had any problems here, even at night. but always stay alert and always keep everything on you. Don't be leaving your phone, don't be leaving your wallet anywhere, and just have some common sense basically. But if you do, you will not have any problems. The common scams are usually overcharging, so always agree on the price beforehand and then, yeah, stick to it. And if someone on the street offers you a special price, that is usually code word for tourist price. So smile and walk away. Or have a look what they want and just, yeah, be aware that they're probably going to overcharge you. And a pro tip is say that you, or mention that you live here. I don't know, go on Google Maps, find an area and just say, oh yeah, I live in this area. Because when I say I live here, they're like, oh, okay. I can't give him the full tourist price. I'm going to rip him off a little bit, but not the full rip off. And if you are coming to Hurghada, make sure to check out, I have an ebook on absolutely everything you need to know. The best restaurants, the best hotels, the best places to go, the best day trips. Honestly, it's like 50 pages long. It has everything you need to know. I will put the link in the description. Definitely check that out. The best time to visit. In Hurghada, I would recommend going from March to May or September to November, because the water is warm, the weather is perfect. I mean, it's sunny every single day here, so you don't have to worry about that too much. But in July and August, it can get brutally hot. So if you do want to see how hot it can get, I did a video in Luxor where it was 50 degrees Celsius. I cooked an egg in the sun on a pan within an hour. It was crazy. I'm actually dying. I feel rough after today. And also in midwinter, like January, February, March, it can get a little bit chilly, especially if you're in the water. The air temperature is probably around 20-25 degrees, but the water does get cold. So if you're coming here to do snorkeling or kite surfing, make sure you bring a wetsuit. So basically, the quick rundown is spring or autumn is the best time to come. Local and cultural etiquette. Obviously, you are in Egypt, it is a Muslim country, and you have to respect that. But Hurghada is a full tourist town, so walking around, you don't have to worry too much. For women, I would say you can wear shorts, that's not a problem, especially in the local areas. Cover your shoulders, I would say. But for guys, shorts and t-shirt is always fine, no problem. If you are going into like more touristy places, you can wear whatever you want. If you're going to malls or, I don't know, most restaurants or water parks or day trips, you can wear whatever you want. And if you are taking pictures or videos, always ask, especially if it's of locals, ask them before. Just mention, can I take a picture? Yeah, and usually they'll say yeah. I've never had many problems here with videoing. I'm just editing the video and I realised I forgot plugs. So type C works and type F works. Where to stay? Hurghada is spread along the coast and each part has a different vibe. El Dahar is the local town with like markets and authentic Egyptian life, and Sakala or Sheraton Road is the central. That's where you get all the shops, the restaurants, the cafes, the nightlife. So yeah. Or you have got El Gouna, that is a 30-minute drive from Hurghada, and it's a little bit more European. It's a little bit more expensive, but it is like truly an amazing place. That's where my parents lived when they lived here. I have done a few videos there, so I will put the link or put them on the screen now. So check them out, because if you do want a little bit more of a European kind of vibe, I would highly recommend El Gouna. And for kite surfing, El Gouna is the best. without a doubt. All over Hurghada, you've got all-inclusive resorts and guest houses. So depending on your price range, there are literally, I'm guessing, 100 different hotels and hundreds of guest houses. I use Airbnb or Booking.com to book places. Or if you are staying for a longer period of time or you want a really cheap trip or cheap stay, go on Facebook groups. A lot of people rent places out on there, and usually it's cheaper because you don't have to pay for the fee for Airbnb or Booking.com. What to do? In Hurghada, there is honestly so much you can do, so many activities. The Red Sea is famous for diving, kite surfing, and snorkeling. So I would highly recommend doing boat trips, especially for the diving and snorkeling. You can go to Gifton Island, Orange Bay, and there is crystal clear waters. It is insane. So I would highly recommend that. And for kite surfing, basically what you have to remember is when you look at the map, the closer to Gouna you go, the more wind there is. In Gouna, because of the direction, there is always a couple of knots more. Obviously, Hurghada is still good, but if you want a little bit stronger wind, I would definitely recommend going up to Gouna. You can stay in Hurghada and get a taxi. It's about a half an hour drive. On the land, there is so much to do as well. You can go into the desert with quad bikes, dune buggies, desert safaris. I just did 2 videos there. I did quad bike, dune buggy, and visiting a small Bedouin village that was really good. I would highly recommend using my link, and not just because I get a commission. It's because I did one a few years ago and it was super dangerous. The quads were really old. Someone's accelerator got stuck on the quad and just wouldn't stop. It ended up being okay, but obviously just be very careful for that. The quad bike and dune buggy I did, the quads were decent quality. So I would highly recommend that. And I think it's only like £30 per person. It's a full afternoon. You get tea, food, you get drinks, you go to a Bedouin village. It's honestly really amazing. And the desert safari I did was also really incredible. It really surprised me. You go 25 kilometers into the desert. You get to learn how the Bedouin people, that's like the original Egyptian local people, live. And then you see that they have like a farm and everything. And then you go onto the top of a hill to ride camels, horses, have a drink, no alcohol, and just enjoy an incredible sunset. And then after that, you get back in the 4x4s, you go back down to the Bedouin village, you have some food, and then after that, you watch the stars. Honestly, it is the best stargazing I have ever done. So if you are into that, I would highly recommend it. Because in the desert, obviously, there is no light. So it's incredible. So again, the link to that will be in the description. Definitely check that out. I would highly, highly, highly recommend it. And for longer trips, you can go to Cairo or Luxor. Luxor is about a 4-hour coach journey. You can do day trips with organisers. I always use Get Your Guide because you can see the reviews and it's usually pretty cheap. Or you can get a go bus to Luxor that it's like £5, £6, and it's a 4-hour trip. So you can stay there, enjoy. Or you can go to Cairo. That's about a 6-hour coach journey, or you can fly. I've personally never flown because the Go bus, it's so cheap. If you go, I would highly recommend using the elite business class. The normal bus is like £7, £8. The elite business class is only £14, £15. So there's really not much difference. And you get so much more room, you can lay back, and when you get to Cairo, you'll actually feel good, rather than like all drowsy and cramped up and everything. But like I say, there are tours that go to Cairo as well. So if you want to just sit back and relax and let everyone organise everything, definitely check that out. And in the evening, it's amazing to walk in the marina. There is loads of restaurants, loads of places. I mean, there's loads of restaurants all over Hurghada, but especially the marina, it's honestly my favourite place to come with friends, walk around, have a nice time, have a couple of drinks, have some food. I hope you found this video useful, and if this is the first video you've ever seen of mine, check out my channel because I have loads on Egypt. You'll get some really valuable information. So if you did enjoy, please like, comment, subscribe, and join me in the next one.
When you're loving me, it goes like